today, folks, it's Friday, and we got some news for you, and it's not great news. It's all regarding the injury front. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to do a discussion about the situation and going forward what the Lions should do. So that's what this video is all about. But before we get into the main topic of this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Why is that? Because likes really push the video out there, and I like that. Let's get into what Dan Campbell said on the injury front. And a lot of players are dinged up in the Detroit Lions secondary. This is what Dan Campbell spoke. He says, it will come down to how he's going to feel for the game, but I don't feel like he is some long-term thing by any means, Campbell said. I feel like we're going to get him to the game. I really do, but we'll see. I can't sit here and guarantee it either. He's talking about Brian Branch. Remember, injury yesterday, sent in for an MRI. It doesn't look, it's nothing serious, but he may miss the game on Sunday night. He was limping around in practice yesterday after practice. Dan Campbell talk about all these injuries. Says, just trying to be smart with the team right now and see where they both are. Talking about Kirby Joseph. Neither one of them, I don't think, will practice today. So we'll probably take it a game at a time here and see where they're at. What he's trying to say is Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch may miss the game on Sunday. Both are safeties. And that is really hard for the Lions secondary and the defense to have both your starters. Plus, we're dealing with more injuries in the secondary, as we know. So let's continue on here. What Dan Campbell says he's another one. Probably a game-time decision, and not before that, Campbell said. It's how you fast recover relative to getting ready to go. He can make a full game. Talking about others secondary are not making it too. Be ready, says Campbell said. We've got answers to go. We have a contingency. We'll be prepared. Injury guys, we already have them. Awesome. They'll play accordingly. Lions could be without Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold, and DJ Reed. Those two are not going to be playing this game, but they could be out with those four starters. So just knowing this, who do you got winning the game? The safeties could play, but L for Lions, C for Chiefs. Let's look at the Lions secondary. This is our starting secondary. And this is what it looks like right now. Well, this is our starting defense. Now, Al-Qadim Muhammad, you could put up there Marcus Davenport. But the reason I didn't put Davenport in here is because I never really trusted him to begin with. And I think Al-Qadim Muhammad is probably the better solution opposite of Hutchinson. So that's why I got him there. But here's our starters. If the Lions do not have Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, this is what it could look like. 4 starters, not in the Lions secondary, and that would be a problem. Now maybe Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph can play, but they are dinged up. They're hurting. So, the question going forward is, even if they can play, say Kirby Joseph's 60%, Brian Branch 70%. Should Dan Campbell play them? Now hear me out. We have to be precautious with these injuries. We have seen when we get dinged up and we don't fully rest a player, that the injury lingers throughout the season. And that's a problem, especially for us when we're trying to win at the end of the year, right? We're trying to win the playoffs. So, I know it's a huge game on Sunday night. But should Dan Campbell arrest Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch anyways, since they are dinged up? Look, it's a long schedule. Look at the Lions' schedule. We got a long year. And there's a game after Kansas City that is way more important than any of the game that we've faced on the schedule yet. It's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That game right there. Tampa Bay is 4-1. Lions are 4-1. We got to win that game. That could determine home field advantage, wild card spot, playoffs, all of that. That game there means way more than the Kansas City Chiefs game on Sunday Night Football. Way more. Now, hear me out. Say Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch can play. Say they can. But they get dinged up again. What if they can't play versus the Tampa Bay game? That would be way worse, in my opinion, than not playing for the Kansas City. I would rather drop a game. I don't want to lose any game by any means. I'm not saying that they would even lose the game if they didn't play. We'll talk about strategy in a minute if they don't. But would you rather have them on when we face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where it is a real important game that could mean a lot, or have them for Kansas City and AFC, where it doesn't mean as much? Yes, it's a win-loss, we know that, but in the grand scheme of playoffs, it doesn't mean as much as NFC. So should the Lions rest those players? R for rest, P for play. Now, let's talk about strategy if they decided to rest, because I want to get into that, and I think it's important. Strategy, just like when I eat, is strategizing. That's why I love the sponsor of today's video. I love eating well, but I hate spending a lot of money. I hate preparing for everything. Why is that? Well, because I'm a guy, and I like to eat well, save money, and not do much. That's why I absolutely love Omaha Steaks. From everyday dinners and effortless and entertaining to unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. And now during their early Black Friday sale, get 50% off site-wide and extra 20% off select favorites at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off with promo code LIONS at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and a variety at every bite that is backed by their 100% guarantee. Grass-fed, grain-finished beef has more marbling than exceptional flavors and is the choice of steakhouses and professional chefs around the world. Omaha Steaks has been America's original butcher since 1917, a family-owned company with over 100 years' experience in the meat industry. The early Black Friday sale is the perfect time to shop for best deals. Plus, orders placed by 6 p.m. Eastern Time ship same day. Save big money with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and extra 20% off select favorites during the early Black Friday sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code LIONS at checkout. Terms to apply. See site for details. That's 50% off omahasteaks.com plus promo code LIONS at checkout. All right, folks, so let's hear the strategy. If they were to rest Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, it's not admitting defeat, even if potentially they could play, right? There could be a strategy involved of how they can win the game on Sunday night. The Kansas City Chiefs can be had in the run and in the ground game. They're letting teams average 5 yards a carry. What do we have? An opportunity with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs where we can just run the ball out. Yes, Kansas City is going to score on us. Absolutely, but the Detroit Lions offense is averaging 35 points a game. Kansas City would have to match the Lions offense. Yes, it could be a back and forth game, one touchdown to the next. But even if it comes to a shootout, I trust the Lions offense over the Kansas City offense if it comes to a shootout, even on the road. Yes, we don't play those guys. The odds of Lions winning drop. Of course they do. They drop dramatically. But we're thinking about the long term, too, as well, not just the short term. And that game that we got to face after Kansas City is a massive game. Where it could mean a lot. It's that and the Philadelphia game. Those are big ones, and in Green Bay. And we need to have those guys healthy. So should they rest them? R for rest, P for play. And it looks like Ali McNeil could be coming back. So we could do a strategy, just really attack hard with our defensive line, right? Be taking blitzes, and we know we're going to get hit, but at least be an aggressive style if they decide to rest them, and then be our offense. The Lions could win the game. They could lose the game. But we need to have our players healthy throughout the whole season. Terrion Arnold was dealing with a shoulder injury, and then last week, he almost could have got knocked out for the season because he was coming into the game banged up. We don't want that to happen to Kirby Joseph or to Brian Branch. We just don't. Now, I'm even hearing about reports of Taylor Decker, he could play. It's the same thing with him. I trust Skip. If they need to have a Taylor Decker rest, I think Skip could hold the fort down for the game, because we have a more important game coming forward the following week, and then we got the bye week after there to where the whole team can completely rest up, right? Go to the bye week. Then you got to face the Vikings and the Commanders. We got to face the Eagles. That'll be a big one. The Packers. The Rams. Yeah, Commanders can go up there too. We gotta win those games. Right? Those are the teams that's going to be competing for the playoffs. Those are the games that we got to watch for. Teams that are vying for a playoff spot. So, I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm not going to lie. I'm going to advocate for resting the players. That is my thought. If they're not 100%, I know it sucks going to Kansas City and it makes it harder to win, but I want this team healthy for very important games. To Kansas City, this is extremely important to them. For us, it's not as important. That's the way that I look at it. But give me your thoughts in the comments below. With this said, folks, adios.